freezing temperatures and really renewed Russian aggression, the reality for many on the ground is bleak. But photographs like these capture an enduring spirit of really ordinary Ukrainians. British photographer Mark Neville lives and works in Ukraine. And after President Putin's invasion, he started hybrid documentary and humanitarian project Postcode Ukraine, traveling around the country to distribute and document aid delivery. Here are some of the stories of the people behind his truly sensational photographs.
I found out about a month ago that Alexander was shot by Russian soldiers as he sat in his wheelchair at home in that same place where I photographed him. So he was shot at the beginning of the war in March, and I can't get my head around it. I don't see the point of it. I don't see who it serves to have killed him. I visited him on his goat farm in Zhytomyr region. He's lost a leg because actually he was captured by separatists. Well, I had the concept for doing this book called Stop Tanks with Books. And the idea was very much to send the book out to the international community, to people who could really help Ukraine in real terms. So we're talking about the media, we're talking about the super rich, we're talking about politicians, NATO members, but also it was a call for action. In January, the book was printed and sent out. I think we've got, the first few hundred copies out just a few days before the war started. Nothing really tangible happened until one day I got an email from a collector and said, listen, I think your book is amazing and what can I do to help? And I said, well, I would love to tell you that I think photographs on their own are going to be enough. But I no longer believe that. So I proposed Postcode Ukraine, which is this hybrid humanitarian aid program and documentary project as well. So the idea is and has been to deliver aid to some of the worst hit places in Ukraine, in Kharkov region, in Dnipro, in Odessa, in Zaporizhia, in Donetsk. There has to be an emphasis on trying to represent daily life as well for Ukrainians, because it's such an amazing, beautiful, strong, stunning country, and that has to be represented visually as well as aid delivery, because aid is so important. I was on an aid delivery mission in Kiev region when I met Masha and Nina. They told me the story about how Masha cut all her hair off. She's only 17, on the advice of her mother and grandmother, because they felt it would minimize the chances of her being raped. Traveling around Ukraine, you see very specifically how schools have been targeted, schools, schoolyards, kindergartens, and then it hits you. It hits you. It hits you that this is a genocide. This is about wiping out a generation of Ukrainians. We were in a small town called Bogdanivka, and we came across this destroyed school. And in the center of the school yard was this destroyed school bus. And it had been deliberately targeted. What I try and capture in my photographs, particularly in the past few months, which are shot in black and white, is this sense of this other world in which trauma is being processed. It's not in full color. It's somehow representing some kind of surreal parallel universe. What I really want to do is make the most stunning, engaging photographs of my career so that people in the West can re-engage with Ukraine and Ukrainians, because we're all feeling compassion fatigue at the moment. And it's been so difficult for all of the world. But now we've got to push again, push more, and push hard and really support Ukraine. I do know that Ukraine will win. People here do not stop fighting. They will never stop fighting.
And these photos really, really captured the spirit, don't they, of Ukrainians. If you'd like to support Mark Neville's humanitarian project and help distribute aid to those in need in Ukraine, go to contribute.to/postcode Ukraine. You can see there more details, of course, about his photos and his project. Truly sensational stuff there.